To my channel, All Things Melisha, where I discuss a lot about what's going on in the political world, but also topics that pertain to everyday life in general. Thank you to all of my subscribers, both new and old. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for your feedback in the comments. I enjoy engaging with you guys, so keep it coming, you guys. And don't forget, if you see a video that you like, to give the girl a thumbs up. Share the video, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. You can do all those things, and don't forget to subscribe if you're interested. So I wanted to come on here real quick tonight, you guys, and go into this No Kings thing a little bit more. I already did a video about it. If you've been following political news, the left has organized, once again, this is the third round of No King protests against President Trump. And it's just interesting to see how our tax dollars have been used. You know, all the billions and billions upon billions of dollars that they were called money laundering. Yeah, I think it's going towards some of these protests. Because it's interesting how during the presidential campaigns, Biden and Kamala, how they weren't able to draw crowds. They had to pay celebrities and stuff for a crowd. So I'm just wondering if these people were people that they have allowed to come into the country by, you know, when they left the border wide open. And also, there has been reports that they are paying people, or that they have paid people to attend these rallies. So when they try to put it in the media like it's so many people against Trump, all you have to do is look at the election map of 2024, and you will see what the American people, the legal American people, voted for, which was President Trump. But let's get into a little of this insanity. People over billionaires who protect our neighborhoods. Is that Robert De Niro? Not the gangster actor that, you know, was always crying about Trump here lately. I mean, you would think something, they must have something on this man for him to be in his 80s and still be out here walking and doing these little rants at award shows. And, you know, he was even outside of President Trump's trial when they had him going in and out of court, claiming that if he got reelected, it was going to be the end of our democracy. I wonder what they have on him. Al Sharpton, not the bought and paid for black gatekeeper. Even got Letitia Big Tish James out there, the one that lied and is on her mortgage application. These people want to protect their fraud bad, don't they? No ICE. If you don't want ICE, what's the remedy? ICE is an institution for us to impose our laws in this country, meaning that if you come in this country, you have to come in legally. I'll say this. All they have to do is say, okay, we'll get rid of ICE, but we also would make it to where if anyone comes into the country illegally, you cannot get any benefits and welfare. And I guarantee you, it'll cut out a lot of that BS. That's the only reason why people come over here, is because our politicians, like, you know, the ones that are promoting this on the Democrat side, moreover, give them everything for free. But let's go into an everyday American citizen and see what he has to say about the No Kings protest.
Everybody outside hollering no kings. Now I agree, there should be no kings in America. But they got you out here thinking king only means one person or a party. What they're really doing is trying to make king synonymous with Trump. But they don't want to talk about their king behavior. So let's talk about it. Where was the same energy when people were told, take this shot or lose your job? That's not freedom. That's king behavior. Take this shot or you can't work, can't travel, can't eat at certain places. That's not a choice. That's king behavior. How about when people's religious beliefs was pushed aside and their exemptions weren't respected? That's power being placed above your personal conviction.
Exactly.
Let's stop sugarcoating it. That was king behavior. And the kings gave you a famous slogan. Remember? My body, my choice. Your body, your choice when it's trending. Your body, your choice when kids who can't vote, can't drink, can't get a tattoo are making life-altering decisions via chemical castration and transitioning. And your kings are allowing that. But when it came to the vaccine, now it's take it or deal with the consequences. Lose your job, lose your income, lose your stability. Oh, so now choice got rules. Let's be honest. My body, my choice ain't a principle, it's a slogan. Because in reality, it's your body, their choice. Yeah,
Right.
your king's choice. And a lot of people didn't want it. They just couldn't afford to lose everything. That cost people jobs, livelihoods, peace of mind. So
Yep.
don't come outside screaming no kings. If you were silent when kings was making those same moves, if you're really against kings, be against all of them. Big or small, not just the ones they tell you to point at. Because the
Exactly.
reality is, we're peasants to both sides.
Exactly. I have to agree with him on that. We are peasants to both sides. It's just crazy, you guys, how he said a lot of stuff. You know, they were talking about where was this energy, where he was saying where was this energy at during the former corrupt now president's administration when they mandated a new vaccine that hadn't stood any trial. I've said this repeatedly, you guys. That was major. You mandate a new vaccine and gave the pharmaceutical companies zero liability, meaning that if anyone was injured, became injured after getting the vaccine, they couldn't sue. That let me know everything I needed to know about this corruption. Then on top of that, they had the border wide open in the middle of a pandemic, but didn't require anybody that came across the border to get vaccinated, but told us that if we didn't get it, we couldn't work. Because they had an agenda. They know that the American people are done with the Democrat Party. And they're trying to bring in all these new people so that they can have a new voter base. Look at the election map of 2024. That's all you have to know or look at to know what I'm saying is true. Now look at this. Somebody says, imagine throwing a No Kings protest after your party refused to hold a primary, coronated Kamala without a single vote, sued to keep RFK Jr. off the ballot. You know he was on the Democrat side, but he switched to the Republican side, just like Tulsi Gabbard, because they claimed that, you know, MAGA is a cult, but when these people stood against them, they came out heavily against them, and they ended up switching parties. Just like a lot of other people switch from the Democrat side as well to the Republican side or independent side. And attempted to remove Trump from state ballots only after your illegal lawfare scheme failed. You know, when they was taking him in and out of courts. If there was a modern day monarchy in America, there would only be one party you could point to. The Democrats. Right on, you guys. Just interesting. Okay, so let's go into some more and see what some other people had to say. Let's see. Look at this. Liberals hate all kinds of kings. Work king, think king, fact check king, and make king sense. That was so funny. I had to share that with you guys. But yeah, that makes sense. They hate all kind of kings. Working, thinking, fact checking, and making sense. Talking about no more kings. At any rate, then you got this lady here that had her little say.
I would be raising kids in a world where I was more worried for their future than I had been for my own. We're here in New York City.
Wait a minute. She said she's concerned now that she's raising the kids in a world where she was more concerned about their future than she was hers. But where was this energy at during the former corrupt now president's administration when they were actually allowing 5 and 6 year olds to determine their gender, saying that they could determine they had the right to remove their gender parts? Where was this energy at then? And all of this is because of a president you don't like, and presidents only get 2 terms, so it's not like he's going to be in there for a lifetime like many of these career politicians that haven't done a darn thing. That's who we really need to be protesting against, getting rich off of our tax dollars and not working on our behalf, but sending all our money overseas and into their own pockets. Just learned that Ukraine, the country that they were fighting so hard to protect and help for their democracy, we sending millions of our tax dollars to help them fight for their democracy while they were over here trying to turn us into a communist country, saying how they needed to protect their borders, but they left ours wide open. These people are a joke, you guys, on both sides of the aisle, if I must say. On both sides. Let's continue this one.
1,000 No Kings demonstrations happening across the country today, and what organizers believe could be one of the biggest political protests in modern U.S. history. Thousands of people are walking down 7th Avenue in Manhattan, protesting Donald Trump and his administration's war in Iran and its aggressive immigration crackdown. All of this is...
Where was y'all protest about the war in Ukraine? You know, Ukraine didn't have a snowball chance in hell of beating Russia, but these politicians kept sending millions of dollars to Ukraine. And there was no protest about that. No protest about the mandated vaccine. No protest about all these illegal immigrants coming in and not having to get vaccinated, although American workers had to, the ones that pay the taxes they were trying to kill off because they know that we're tired of the Democrat Party.
Happening in the shadow of Trump's polling reaching new lows in recent days.
You
Is there
wish.
like a most pressing issue right now under Trump that's bringing you out here?
It's an astonishingly compounding snowball of things.
It's a freedom,
The issue with immigration and the border.
invading other countries. What right does he have to go to Cuba?
Our transgender brothers and sisters are being attacked.
Voting because they're trying to take away.
U.S. president's been invading other countries forever. So what is she talking about? Where was the energy at back in, like, when they invaded during Obama administration, when they went into Libya and went into several Middle Eastern countries? These people are a joke, you guys. But at any rate, I'm going to end it off right here, show you a little bit more of the hypocrisy of these Democrats, starting with the first black president who was so charismatic that he fooled a lot of people into thinking that he was for us, but the only people that he really helped advance was the LGBTQ agenda while claiming to be a Muslim.
It's one more example of something that is not thought through and is primarily put forward for political consumption. The bill before us will certainly do some good. It will authorize some badly needed funding for better fences and better security along our borders. The fence is now basically complete. Maybe they'll need a moat. Maybe they want alligators in the moat.
Secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary in some places.
We will not build a wall. Instead, we will build an economy where everyone who wants a good job can get one.
I'm sorry, you guys. This broad, this demonic witch of a broad, excuse my language, but I really loathe her. Been in political office, was in political office for 30, 40 years and still talking about, we will not build a wall. We will create more jobs. If you can't do it in 40 years, when you look at her, don't she look like a little bird of a demon to you guys? Talking about jobs. You've been in political office for 40 years, grifting off the American people. Why did we spend $48 million for your daughter to get on her wedding, reportedly, through USA? Huh? Can you answer that, Hilda Beast? Can you? Ooh. Let me move on.
I voted for a fence.
This is
I
body.
voted, unlike most Democrats, some of you won't like it. I voted for 700-mile fence. But let me tell you something, folks. People are driving across that border with tons, hear me, tons of everything from byproducts from methamphetamine to cocaine.
You wouldn't know about that cocaine because your son definitely had a lot of it. And whatever happened to that cocaine that was found at the White House? Did they ever figure out who that belonged to? Because they sure never did follow back up on that story. But we have a pretty good idea that it was his son. Now he's sitting up here back in the days talking about how all this stuff was coming across the border.
Harold, it's all coming up through corrupt Mexico.
And the impulse is to hunker down, shut the gates, build walls, exit at this moment is precisely the wrong answer.
Former presidents have said to him that they wish that they had built a wall. Do you recall President Obama ever saying that?
Come on.
Construction of a 630-mile border fence create a significant barrier to illegal immigration on our southern land border.
All along, the president's saying, well, I'll do DACA and Dreamers in return for the wall. He's got it. President Trump, if you want to open the government, you must abandon the wall.
Wow, the hypocrisy of the Democrats is just superb, you guys. These people, their hypocrisy is just off the charts. That's all I got to say about it. That's nothing more for me to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you later.